Y'all put your hands together and welcome to the stage, Dave Kelly.
I'm back. I'm thrilled to be here with you again. I love, sharing that. Dell shares that with you. Here's a movie you might have seen, and you might have seen me in, and if you did, you were paying way too close attention. There is my moment of fame. 9 seconds on screen behind Taraji P. Henson. She, of course, is credited as the star. I was credited a little bit differently than she was. And the guy I'm talking and the things I get to do are so great because in my life I recognize I had a pivotal moment when I was in high school actually. And maybe this weekend will be a pivotal moment for you. And so you've got to watch out for those pivotal moments because I think when it comes down to leadership, my feeling is the ability to win elections doesn't make you a leader. It's what you do with it and how you do it and how you go about it. And so that's what I want to share with you a little bit about here in this showcase. My pivotal moment, as I mentioned, happened when I was in high school. I was in Key Club in high school. Anybody that was in Key Club, got a few Key Club members, or maybe you had one in your high school. And near the end of my junior year, our club president came into a meeting. I lived in Wisconsin, and he said that there was going to be a convention of Key Clubs going on up in Green Bay. And I thought that would be really cool to go to Green Bay. I went to a high school of less than 400 people in a village of under 4,000. Green Bay had 80,000 people at the time. So to me, it was a big city. And I'd saved some money up from a job I had the summer before on a farm. I've been saving it up to take this girl to prom. But when I asked her, she turned me down. She was waiting for some other guy to ask her. And he never did. So she had to stay home and I got to go to Green Bay. Well, when I got there, I was blown away. There were over 600 students there. And they had posters up all over, people running for offices. And that first night, they put us into a meeting room. And there were 2 groups in here. This is an exact replica of the state of Wisconsin. This is Green Bay, this is Milwaukee, and I was from here. And there were about 5 or 6 schools from our part of the state over here. And then from way up north, there were about 10 schools over on this side. And in between the people running for all these big offices, this guy would get up in front of this side of the room and he would tell them what he would do if they would elect him to be their representative. The position was called Lieutenant Governor. Okay. But nobody was in front of our side of the room. And the guy running the meeting was just begging for somebody to run. And after a while, my advisor nudged me and he said, "Why don't you do it?" And I said, "Me? How can I do that? I don't even know what that is. How can I be on the state board? I've never even been an officer in our club." But I thought about it and I realized I'll raise my hand. They'll see I'm not any good and don't know anything, and somebody better will get elected. So I raised my hand and I said, "I'll do it." And I learned a lesson about volunteering that night. You tend to get what you volunteer for. Well, I went home and I just did everything they said to do. And at the end of the year, we had 14 of those positions in our state, and they gave out 2 awards for the most outstanding lieutenant governors, and I was one of them. And then, thank you. Oh, I think it's better. Then I got nominated for the International Award, and that summer in Washington, D.C., in front of 3,000 people, out of 700 lieutenant governors in the whole organization, only 14 were named outstanding, and I was one of them. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's still on my wall. And then I went into the collegiate group because I had so much fun. I wanted to do that too. And it's called CKI. And I know we have somebody here who's in CKI. Yeah, I met you earlier today. And so I did that and I got to be international president, which was really cool. The coolest thing I did was I got to speak in Vienna, Austria in a sports arena in front of 10,000 people. That was cool. Got to go to the Bahamas. That was cool. New York, LA, cool. Aberdeen, South Dakota in February, cold. Cool people, and I loved it. And then I went into the parent group, which is called Kiwanis. When I moved to Georgia, and I got to be a state advisor. And because I was a state advisor, I was at a training conference with clubs from all over the state of Georgia, and our college students were there too. And we had a big session to start the day. And after the session, I was talking with some of the students, and there was this woman who had won, her club had won an award earlier, and she jumped up and down and screamed, so we all noticed her. And she came up front and started talking to the students. And one of the students turned to me and he said, "Dave, I'd like you to meet Dia. Dia, meet Dave." And in that moment, I met my wife. Glad I didn't go to prom. It's the pivotal moment in my life. I don't know what direction my life was going, but it changed. And I'm glad that it did, because I'm here with you. So for me, that was my beginning. I didn't plan it, it just happened, and I dove in. And maybe that's how you are now. You didn't plan on being on the programming board or an SGA or something else, but it just happened, and here you are. So take advantage of those opportunities when they come along. And one of the things that I've always done to build up myself as I go along and build my confidence is affirmations. Now, if you never use an affirmation, they are statements where you claim victory over what you have now or what you will have in the future. So you state it like it exists now. I am a successful professional speaker. I think that's true. I am a great father. My family tells me that's true. I am in excellent physical condition. Okay, not yet. But I've lost 35 pounds since Thanksgiving. Yeah. So, and not using any of that stuff they advertise on TV, just making good choices. You can do it. Yeah. Because my doctor told me about that, and then she told me the side effects, and I'm like, nope. So anyway, but that's affirmations, and you can use those, and they make a big difference for me. So remember I said earlier today, figure out how you can use the presenters that are up here on the stage. Let me help you, tell you a little bit about what I do. Student government training. Dell told you I'm the SGA expert here at APCA. I was in the student government at the University of Wisconsin, Oshkosh. That is a real place, by the way, for 4 years, and I loved it, and I have trained hundreds of student governments all over the country. So I'd love to work with yours. And it's one of the things that I do is I'll teach you how to run your meetings better, your organization better. I talk about advocacy and activism, and one of the things that I teach is parliamentary procedure, Robert's Rules. And we had a session this morning, and we had a pretty good time in it. Were you in the session? Give a round of applause if you liked it. A cheer, a seal of approval. So here, I want to help you. We got to learn how to make motions. So the motion on the floor is, I move that APCA gets loud. Do I have a second?
I second.
Second. All right, everyone in favor? Scream! That's how you do it. I also work with clubs and organizations. I'm doing a program tomorrow on how to recruit more members for your clubs and organizations. As a state advisor, I recruited over 10,000 students into our organization with 100 different recruitment tables, so I'll show you what I do there, and I'd love to work with you in your clubs and orgs. I also love to do community service and service engagement. In fact, I have a book called Building Leaders Through Service, and I'm going to offer for the first 25 people who come by my booth at the 8 o'clock or 8:30 session tonight on the exhibit hall, you get a free copy of my book. Okay, that's 25, we're good. Okay, good. So I don't want to take them home, come get my book. And they're signed. So I love to do service, and I'd love to get your students engaged in service. I also do workshops for everybody. Time management, conflict resolution and communication, other topics. So I just love leadership. And you know what, I do this. I was in the mortgage business for a long time. I owned a company that had offices in 4 states and did it for 20 years, and I hated every minute of it. I do this because I love it. And so I love students, I love working with them, and I would love to come to your campus and work with your students and with you as well. So if you do book me, I'll also give you 25 books for you to give away when I come on campus. So, well, I'm giving it all away. So, or if it's hybrid, I'll still send you the books. So let's talk at my booth. I'm at booth number 98. I just really found that if you keep going, if you persevere, which is what I really feel I was able to do in times that were tough, in times when I was in the mortgage business and frustrated, I said, I'm gonna pursue my dreams, I'm gonna do what I love, and if you would like this kind of positive, encouraging type of training, leadership development, speaking, whatever, for your students, I'd love to come to your campus and encourage your students by letting them know the door is wide open, and I encourage you to pursue your dreams, to dream dreams, pursue passions, and find that which makes your life worthwhile. It makes getting up every day awesome. Here's how you get in touch with me. I'd love to see you at booth number 98. I'm Dave Kelly, America's Student Leadership Trainer. Thank you, APCA.